Hi, my name is Elisa Nichols. This week at GC Burkhead, I started the week discussing infrastructure. The students were working in teams to build chains, to build links for stability. They were given one piece of construction paper, about a foot of tape, and had to figure out who could come up with the longest chain. They also this week worked with a partner, and they had to build a structure using nothing but spaghetti and marshmallows, and it was the highest structure one, teaching them about the infrastructure and building and designing. They ended the week by spending some time designing their own roller coaster. They had to have a loop in it, and they could only use the things that I provided. They could bring in recyclables from home, but they had to build it, rework it if it wasn't working, and see if their end product matched their design. You've seen a lot of different roller coasters. You have seen some of those very general ones, the Woodstock one at Kings Island. You have seen some of those big ones, the Giga coasters that are steel. You have started your design. Now it is time for you to put it in place and follow these rules. You have to have at least one loop in yours, okay? You're gonna be using materials from the back table, and you're gonna be using materials from up here. I have masking tape, duct tape, different size cups, straws, construction paper, bowls, anything that you brought in from home. If you brought in recyclables, guys, you can use those, okay? But now it is time for you to actually put in place your design. So that is what you're going to be working on. Do you have any questions for me? You are going to be able to move about the room because you don't want to sit side by side, because you're going to notice that those pieces of cardboard are kind of big. If you want to use more than one, you can. Again, remember that if you're working on your tunnels, you're going to have to cut the sides of your cardboard because it is not going to be as flexible if it doesn't have that cut in it, okay? You can tape it and bend it however you want to, but you need to cut it. If you need to come and look at my design that I got started on, you're going to be able to use that, okay? You want to try to use what you drew as your guide, and then you're going to have to see, just like an engineer, does it work? How are you going to make it work? You can have really great ideas, guys. You can think, oh, I'm going to make this roller coaster and the first drop is going to be 600 feet or it's going to be a mile, but if that's just not possible, right? So you're going to have to make sure that you can. When you're ready to test yours, now you're not going to have that pulley system. You're not going to have that chain system. So you may have to help guide your marble, but again, you're going to be able to test it with the marble and see, and then tomorrow you will actually, everybody will get their light up marble that they'll be able to test theirs with, and you'll be taking that home with your design and your actual prototype that you've created.
Hi, my name is Kim Mauser, and I'm here at GC Burkhead at the STEM camp. And in my class this week, we were talking about all things water. So we started out our week talking about some of the water resources that we have here on our planet. And then we went into taking care of water, and we polluted some clean water and made our own team filters. So that was pretty cool. And we got to see how that's related to how the earth filters water and water that goes to a water treatment plant. So our last activity was we created a character, kind of like Smokey the Bear with his motto, only you can prevent forest fires. We came up with a motto for our creature, and he or she had to have something to do with taking care of the water system. So we made a little infographic poster and a character to go with that. And I feel like all the kids had a really great time.
So we built our water filters and we made the dirty water.
What's another word for dirty water?
Polluted.
Polluted water. So we said polluted water is water that's unsafe for use. It's dirty and unsafe, right? So we made a water filter so we could filter out all those impurities, anything hazardous. What were some of the hazardous things we put in our water that can get into our water in real life? What was one thing we put in there?
Trash.
Trash. We just talked about outside on the playground. If there's trash laying around on that playground, it's going to wash down into that storm drain and get into our water supply. What else did we put in there? Chemicals from factories. They are not supposed to be dumping chemicals into waterways, but sometimes they do. And a lot of times they get in trouble for it and get fines, or maybe even who's in charge might have to go to jail for that. It's highly illegal. What else do we put in there? Soap. People like to be clean, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that sudsy soap residue from our washing machines, dishwashers, hands, all of that goes down drains, and sometimes it gets dumped out in yards. We talked about how when people wash their car, all those soap suds just soak into the ground. What's that area underground where we can get that groundwater from? Do you remember what it's called? A water something. Watershed. Good. Here were a few of our vocabulary words. We already talked about what polluted means. A filter is what's going to get out all of the bad stuff, all the impurities. With our filter, we had a control. Do you remember what the control was?
A coffee filter and 2 halves of a...
Right. Everybody got 2 pieces of a water bottle and a coffee filter. That was the control. That's what's the same for everybody. But then your teams got a variable to try out. What was your variable at that team over there?
Pebbles.
Pebbles. So they decided to go with the pebbles. What was your variable? Charcoal. And then you guys had? Cheesecloth. Okay. I'm going to have Jordan go join that. Jaden join that team over there because they just have 2 people. Okay. I'm going to give you guys back your water filter. If somebody from your team will just come pick it up, take a look at what you wrote. I've got your engineering design plan there that we worked on yesterday too. Right, the water's polluted. So what are we trying to do?
Make it clean.
We're trying to filter it to make it clean again for drinking. Okay, but we're not actually going to drink this because we're not going to be able to get all of the pollutants out. Okay, I'm going to give it a good stir. I'm going to come around. I need one person from your table to hold your filter steady for me so I can fill you up. So they thought it might be a good idea to put charcoal in the bottom, but now they're thinking maybe that wasn't a good idea, okay? this is your prototype. What does that mean? It's your first try, right. No environmental engineer gets it right their first try. They always make improvements. Even this team over here who are pretty happy with it, I bet they can think of something that they might be able to do to make it better. Oh, okay. All right, so you guys tell me how this went over here.
It went really good. I think we got all.
Oh, listen.
I think we got all the oil out and all the dirt and solids, and it looks pretty clear.
Okay.
It's just the dye.
Okay. So we're seeing a trend here. All three of our filters, we need something better to get dyes out. But it looks like we all did a decent job of getting the solids out, right? Okay, here's what I need you to do. With your team on part 5, whoever's turn it is to write next, some of you didn't write anything at all, so it can be your turn. On number 5, it says what went well. That's where you're going to write down what your filter did a good job of. Did it do a good job of getting out the trash? Did it make the water look better? Tell me what it did a good job of, and then tell me one way you would improve it.
I would like to stand for our ocean, but I did not get it dirty and not pollute in the ocean.
So what's your character going to do? Does he
said
have an name?
Canny.
Canny the can, okay. And what's his message?
To not to recycle cans.
Okay.
My character is going to be a stingray, and I'm going to call it Stingray Stella.
Mine is a jellyfish.
Her motto's going to be keep the
The motto is the message your character wants everyone to know about or learn about.
keep the water clean so I can sleep well.
I am making a cat. His name is what's his name? Cliff the cat. And his motto is not to put dangerous chemicals in the water.
My name is Beth Borders, and this week at the GC Burkhead STEM Camp, my rotation focused on energy. So as each of the groups came to me, we did some different things with energy. We started off the week with sound energy and light energy. We did an activity where we blew up balloons and did different pitch and echoes into those balloons to see what vibrations we could feel: high pitch, low pitch, loud noise, soft noise. And then we moved into potential and kinetic energy, where luckily we had a local business, Burger King, donate some cups and lids for us so that the students could put those together and form a race car. So we strung a rubber band through the middle and wound that up to use as our motor, and the kids were able to watch those change from potential energy of the rubber band and the motor into kinetic energy. We then kind of moved in later in the week to talking a little bit more about electrical energy, and for this activity we used an electrical circuit and a motor to build a spinning activity that they would allow to do designs with markers and paper. So their paper would spin around using the motor and the electrical energy, and then they were able to use markers and other media to make different designs. And then we finished the week off with talking about wind energy and non-renewable and renewable types. And so for our wind energy, we ended up making a pinwheel so that the students could see different ways that we can use our renewable resources. Oh, it almost went around.
Yeah, it did work right.
Oh, okay. Climb up the hill, okay? Oh, good job. Yours works, kiddo. And if you had another pulley system, it could have gone up this hill, right? The lightning bolt, okay. Oh, okay, all right. But listen, guys, don't get upset about it, right? It's okay, that's what engineers do. They see what works and they fix it. So as an engineer, so how could you fix that? What would make that better? What could you do differently? Make it a better rail, maybe? Yeah. Would you put the loop closer to your drop, maybe? That would help. That would help give it enough energy and enough force. Okay, yeah, good job, Martin. Yeah, there we go. Oh, almost. So what could you do differently? What are you noticing about the bottom down there? What could you do differently? It could. What I'm noticing is there's a lot of space right here for the marble to go into. Is that always a good thing? No. Unless you have a rail for it to completely follow. Yeah. Yeah? Yes. Yes.
You could just put a curved piece of cardboard connecting the two.
Okay.